Hello everybody, hope you're doing fine. Is he doing or feeling? Anyone, hey family members, you're welcome back to another amazing episode. Okay, so today is going to be an awesome session, and that's because it's a Q&A. Yes, it's a Q&A. So what happened was that after posting the last episode, I got a number of questions about goals in my DMs, and I felt led to send an anonymous link to people that wanted to ask questions. And I did that, and I got a couple of questions, right? So today, by God's grace, we're going to be answering them. Good thing is I was able to put these questions and together, and we have a perfect number of 7. So without further ado, let's get into it. With a burden to answer the question how, this is the podcast series of The Complete Youth. So number 1 says, I actually like this question. It says, I have too many goals. Is 1 year enough? Bye. Actually, I don't know what the goals look like. So 1 year may not be enough, but that's dependent on the quality of the goals you want to smash, right? Goal setting most of the time is quite about quantity, but more than that, it's about quality, right? This is not to say that any goal is not important, right? Now, there are certain parameters, that determine the quality of a goal, okay? There are actually 3 basic parameters that determine the quality of a goal. The first is how much time it will take to accomplish, right? The second is how much effort you need to put into it. And the third is how much resources do you need? And resources are divided into 2 categories. We have human resources and we have material resources. All right. So if a goal takes a lot of time and it requires a lot of effort and a lot of human and material resources, then it's a high quality goal. Do you get what I mean? Right. So for example, let me say you want to publish a book. That's a high quality goal. That's because it takes a lot of time to get all the way from the planning phase to the execution phase. It requires a lot of effort, and then you need human and material resources as well. So you need quite a number of things to be put in place. As to a goal like, I want to make my hair longer, all right, it doesn't take a lot of effort, and I know the naturalist will be like, it does take a lot of effort, I understand, but I'm just saying that compared to the dedication you need to put to a book, you can just really do less with your hair and still get there. You get? So that's basically what I'm trying to say. So the solution to this, I would say, is to weigh the quality of these goals based on the parameters we talked about, and if almost all of them, or quite a number of them, or in fact more than 4 of them are extremely high quality goals, then I would say that you should not do more than 4. And another thing would be to divide your goals into major and minor goals, right? So some are high quality, some are like they have lesser quality. You should just basically divide it into major and minor and have 4 major goals and 4 minor goals, and you know that your major goals are like the ones you're going to really focus on, and then the minor goals you attend to them, but it's not something you have to go through every day. It's not something that takes a lot of time, effort and resources from you. So if you're able to do that, then I would say that you should be fine. All right. So how do you pick which ones are major and minor, aside using the quality testing method? I would say that you should ask yourself which goal or which major goal, if not accomplished, would cause all hell to break loose. Basically, when I say all hell breaking loose, I'm not talking about externally alone. Sometimes it's intrinsic, sometimes it's extrinsic. Sometimes it's just that inner feeling of unfulfillment and lack of self-esteem, or reduction in the level of your self-esteem. And then if it's extrinsic, it's going to affect your schooling, it's going to affect family, whatever it is, then you can just shuffle around. For example, you're in school and somehow you just decide to defer a whole semester or a whole session. Like, I don't know when you want to come and do it, except of course for like reasons that are way, way stronger than actually going through the semester. So yeah, finally, to help you with that, I would say you should listen to more spiritual insight, like Christian gospel spiritual insights on how you're supposed to go about the goals. But my general advice will always be, don't do too many. All right, don't do too many. You're not James Bond. Okay. Alright, so we're gonna try to be as fast as possible because we want to answer all the questions in record time. Second question says, I am confused on what goals I should have because I am a student who collects pocket money. Well, my first guess is this person is scared because they think that every goal requires money to be smashed or something. So let me tell you this, my big brother Pastor Dami would say, know this and no peace. Okay, so know this and no peace. You need to set goals for where you are at. If you're not somewhere, don't set goals that are related to that place. So the goals a secondary school student will set are different from the goals that someone in the uni would set, different from the goals a master student will have, different from goals a working class person will have, different from the goals of a father or a mother, or so always set goals for where you are at. You don't necessarily need to jump the gun and try to set way bigger goals. Yes, you have big dreams, but then you start accomplishing those big dreams by taking little steps. So I would definitely say set goals for where you are. No matter what state you are at the moment, there are goals for you to set. Okay, so for a secondary school student now, their goals probably are to have a very good reading timetable, be able to stop procrastinating, be able to have good grades. And then you have a university student who probably wants to work and study at the same time. So the goals are different, right? If it's something, you just start from where you can start from, and don't pressure yourself with the goals. You have big dreams, but remember, small steps sum up to make that big dream come to pass. And then another thing I would say is for you to note that your goals grow as you grow. All right, your goals grow as you grow. So look inward, look around you, be honest with yourself. Where are you in life at the moment? All right, for example, it doesn't make any sense for you to set a financial goal of saving up 300,000 naira by the end of a month when you don't even have a job and your pocket money is not up to 20,000 naira a month. Do you get? That is a prayer point, it's not a goal. All right. So let's move on to question 3. It says, I like this question a lot. Because it's something I can really relate to. It says, conditions at home are favorable for goal getting, but my family members may not understand that I'm busy. In school, where I can be left alone to face my life, the conditions are not exactly favorable, aka it's the trenches. Alright, amazing. So yes, I relate because you can face your life at home, there's food, there's this, there's that, but then people expect you to do other things, and then when you get to school, the conditions are not exactly the best. Well, I'll say first of all, you need to pick your stress. It will never be a perfect condition. One of the beauties of goal getting is the fact that there will always be opposition, and it is our ability to meander around and soar above those oppositions that makes us goal getters. Do you understand? So this is like something you really need to put at the back of your mind. But here are some practical tips I think you can use. Here are some that I feel like just work for me. So at home, the first thing I'll say is talk to them individually in their own language. Never do a family meeting, honestly. Just talk to them individually. You know how your mom reacts, you know how your dad reacts, you know what tickles their fancy, you know what they like. So just talk to each person according to their own language and let them understand that, if they need you to do something, you'll probably be available from this period to this period, because during this particular time you have something you're going to be working on and you would like to not be disturbed or something. If you say it respectfully enough and if you say it in their own language, please, I'm emphasizing their own language because everybody is different. Do you understand this? The way you say please to your friend, it's not the same way you beg your mentor. It's not the same way you beg your parents. So I believe you get what I'm trying to say. I pray God helps you. Second thing is pray about it. Pray about it. A lot of people undermine the place of prayer when it comes to go-getting. Pray about it. Pray that you won't have unnecessary emergencies. Pray that people will understand. Pray that you'll be left alone. Pray that there will be light for you to do what you want to do. Pray that there will be money. Just keep praying. Pray that they will understand. They will leave you alone. Pray. And thirdly, wake up early and try to help out at home. Like, try to do other things. Don't just wake up and you say your own personal prayers, you have your personal devotion, you go to the bathroom, you serve yourself from the kitchen, and then you sit on your desk and you start working. Like, you're not living alone. It's not necessarily the best, it's not convenient, but then you wake up early and try to do something. Try, just sweep, mop, wash the plates, warm the food, whatever it is you can do it before people start saying, who will go to this, who will do that, because you've already done something. I don't know how to say it. There's one whack English we used to say. It says, at least you will have mouths. Do you get? So try to do something when you wake up early. It will actually honestly surprise you how much time this will save you. It's a phenomenon I like to call slowing down to speed up. Okay, so now when it comes to school, first of all, give your space the neatness and comfort that it deserves. You don't need to break the bank. Just, add a pop of color, get yourself very nice bed sheets, get yourself a wallpaper, get yourself a carpet for the side of your bed if you're in a hostel or something. Just get yourself those things that will make your home, your space feel like home. All right. And then secondly, I would say buy functional things, something like a bed desk, those bed desks that they sell. You can order it online. You can get yourself snacks if you know that instead of you to start thinking of how to cook or how to go and get food, you can just nibble on something that you have already. Try to get drinks, try to get a full timetable so that you don't have to start thinking of what to eat. You just know that Wednesday is this, Thursday is this, and then you just pull it out and get what you want to get done. All right, but above all, please just decide that you're going to smash your goals. It has to be from a place of personal decision. You can't wait for favorable conditions. They will betray you. They will betray you. All right, so let's move on to the next question. The next one is, this is the fourth question. The fourth question. It says, Mude, thank you for your amazing work. Thank you for your amazing work. Well, all thanks to God. It says, I would like you to follow up. I believe this person is talking about the last episode. I'd like you to follow up on how we can be disciplined and consistent with the goals. All right. This issue is actually peculiar to everyone, especially when you're not very used to goal setting and getting. So, I'll say one major thing I need you to understand is most goals would have been accomplished but for procrastination. So, you need to put it at the back of your mind that you have a habit of procrastinating, but you are not a procrastinator. All right, there's a difference. Procrastinating is a habit. Procrastinator or a procrastinator is a personality, an identity. So I've heard some people call themselves procrastinators, and this thing will stick with you. So please be careful what you say, so that you can be able to beat procrastination. I'll definitely tell you to pray as much as you can to beat procrastination. And one of the ways to beat it is just start with the hardest task. just start. Like, don't even, okay, this brings me to my next point anyways. Starting well has a way of giving you momentum to continue. All right, so break the goals down into the tiniest tasks. Break it down as much as possible, as tiny as possible. Break this thing down. All right, if the first task is pick up the pencil, let's say we pick up the pencil. When you've picked up the pencil, you've done task 1. Do you understand? So break it down as tiny as you can and then just start. A workflow will save you every single time. A workflow is basically your list of tasks in the right order. Okay, so number 1 has to happen, before number 2 can happen, before number 3 can happen. Write it down, type it out, follow it, make it tiny, make it basic. For example, you want to write a book, okay? You can't just say task 1, write the book. Task 2, what will I say now? Task 2, design it. Task 3, publish it. No, hey, how do you want to do that? So task 1, or there might be 3 tasks, but then they have sub tasks. So write the book will be like, okay, get a very nice, book if you're going to be writing with your hand, or create a folder for it on your Word or Google Docs. Create a folder, name it, and then set up a structure, set up a system that makes sure that you write for at least 30 minutes every day. It could be in the morning, just say from 6 to 6:30, I'm going to pick up this book and I'm going to write, okay? So set up a system, calculate how many chapters you want it to have, or see where you want it to start from, the idea you want it to end with, how long will it take you to cover it. All those things are tasks on their own, okay? But then you see some people just write the book. Write the book is plenty work, okay? So yeah, those subtasks, break it down as much as possible. And like I said, the workflow will save you every time. It saves you time, it removes confusion, it saves you energy, all right? And the thing is, people don't know that when they want to do something, and that's the point where they start thinking of how they're going to go about it, they are burning a lot of energy. If you don't know, right, research shows that it actually takes about 320 calories just to think, right? So like that would give you the science or the scientific explanation behind the loss of weight of people that worry a lot, because thinking takes a lot of energy. All right, so set simple systems, make it very simple. Don't tell yourself I'm going to read for 4 hours in the morning, and then please, if you've not done 30 minutes straight, there is no way under the sky that you want to do 4 hours straight. All right, so to start from, I'm going to write for just 10 minutes in the morning. Then when you're consistent, now I'm choosing it to 20 minutes every morning. I just want to write in my book and something like that. God help us in Jesus' name. Let's go to the 5th question, because that 4th question just seemed like it was taking a lot of time. The 5th question says, what are the reasons why people don't achieve their goals? Anyways, like I was gonna say, village people, but then that's not what you're asking me. I understand, but don't neglect that particular one. That's why prayer is necessary, right? So, but then there's procrastination, and procrastination is just when you're trying to avoid stress. You're not a bad person, you're a good person, but you don't like stress, all right? That's why you need to set very simple systems to beat procrastination, all right? Procrastination is the major reason, to be very honest. It's just like it has different shades. It's just like color blue has sky blue, navy blue, royal blue, cobalt blue, turquoise blue. Procrastination also has shades. Some other shades of procrastination are like indiscipline, lack of commitment, lack of focus, and all of that. But, it's the principal reason. Other factors may be like factors beyond your control or beyond people's control, like sickness, lack of money, emergencies that they did not plan for, or when the goals are not smart. Please don't underestimate setting smart goals. You guys remember, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound, okay? Also, if someone is unnecessarily multitasking, like there's no real need for you to multitask, just face one thing at a time. If you are unnecessarily multitasking, you touch a lot of things, but you finish little to none. So I try to be wary of multitasking unnecessarily, except it's extremely important that I multitask. And another thing that prevents people from, meeting up with their goals is praise and, applause from people, too early. When the praise and applause is coming too early, it's staying too long, and it's like, how do I put it now? It's coming like flattery. You begin to think that you've done more than you've actually done. Once you listen to people's clap for just a very short period, move on, because see, there are more things to be done. Don't let people's clap, make you stop being focused on what you were focused on before, right? Another thing I think prevents people from meeting their goals, and I don't think a lot of people take note of this one, is actually ingratitude. When you think that your wins are not big enough, you have less motivation to continue. So be grateful for every little win that you have. Be grateful for process. Be grateful for progress. Be grateful for, every journey. All right, and just watch yourself evolve. And finally, I think the last one I'll just say is comparison. Even the Bible says in 2 Corinthians 10 verse 12 that them comparing themselves with themselves are not wise. You cannot be comparing yourself with someone else and you meet up with your goals, because you're too busy comparing, man. You're too busy comparing. So yeah, move on from that. And that moves us to question number 6. This one says, what do I do if I have a goal that needs money to be accomplished? That question is actually very easy, to be honest. If you have a goal and it needs money to be accomplished, and I'm guessing your question is because you don't have the money you need at the moment, then I would say that your goal is actually not that goal. Your first goal is to get money for that goal. So make getting the money your first goal, and then you'll be fine, all right? I don't know. Try to look at your skills, start freelancing, start telling people about what you do, start applying for jobs, whatever, So your first goal is actually to get the money. And finally, question 7. Question 7 says, what are the things to watch out for when setting goals? First of all, it may sound cliche, but I've told you, don't undermine the power of setting SMART goals. Ensure your goals are SMART. Alright, SMART. If they are not, it will stress you, it will take your time, and it will take your time for nothing. Okay? Secondly, ensure that your goal is purpose related. If you're not doing purpose related goals, actually, what are you not doing? I don't know. But some people say, oh, I don't know my purpose yet and all of that. See, as a believer, there are general purposes we're supposed to start living out even before we know our specific purpose. Okay, sometimes when people start YouTube channels, they start talking about general stuff, and as time goes on they realize that they are better in a particular niche than others. Okay, and then they niche down, all right, but they started generally. So you have general purposes like preaching the gospel, you have general purposes like shining your lights, working in the house of God, just being very being intentional about your life even before you know your purpose. So then make sure your goal is purpose related, because it keeps you going. If you don't have a purpose attached to a goal, there's a very high chance that you stop doing it. Let me give you an example. See, there was a time that I wanted to learn a particular sport, all right, and I may still learn it, to be very honest, because I like it. Okay, and I got to start learning it for a couple of months, but I didn't finish my training. All right, and then I realized that one day it was just taking my time. So I sat down and asked myself, why exactly are you learning this? And I found out that it was just for finesse, plain finesse. Do you get? And I said, okay, if finesse is not what you need right now, drop it. When you're done doing the important stuff, you can pick it up later at leisure, or just a period in your life where you have time. I know somebody will say, oh, when will you have time in your life and all of that? See, there are some times where you have extra time on your hands because you've done the work you needed to do. So yeah, I'll just say please make sure it's purpose related. And finally, I would say look at your capacity at the moment. Just like we said at the beginning, we're talking about time, effort, and resources. Look at your capacity. Do you have time on your hands for that goal? All right. Do you have the energy to put in the effort? For example, if you are not feeling fine, and you're trying to recover and you took a lot of drugs, it's not the time to set the goal of sewing a dress in 3 days. You can't do it. You don't have the energy to put in the effort required to bring that goal to life. Okay, so look at that and look at the resources that you have. Sometimes some goals require you outsourcing some tasks. Do you know the people you need to outsource to? Do you have these connections? Do you know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody? Do you have the money at hand? Have you saved up to that? Do you have an investment somewhere that is accruing and that is bringing you this? Do you understand? Just think of these things. It's called, I would say it's called risk management, so you basically look at these things before you say, all right, I want to set this goal and I'm going to get it done. We've answered 7 amazing questions. So if this has blessed you, please raise your hands. I know I can't see you, but you can raise your hands in the comments. And if you have any other questions that have not been treated, please drop them in the comments and I'll see if we can have another question and answer episode. All right, share as well. You'll be helping someone answer their questions in January. Remember that the more timely a gift is, the more appreciated it will be. Okay, so send this to someone so it will profit them more, because it's better they get it now than they start getting it in April when the year is almost at the middle and all of that. Yeah, so with this said, I'll leave you with this. Remember the word of God in Proverbs 19:21. I personally like the Passion Translation. It says, a person may have many ideas concerning God's plan for his life, but only the designs of God's purpose will succeed in the end. So don't be scared of making moves. Know that only God's plans will work out in the end because you are his own, all right? You are his own. Fine. Beautiful people. Udenu I will see you in the next episode by God's special grace. Till then, I just want to say, stay bold.